Hey everybody, and welcome back to Whiskey Trek. I'm Jackson.
And I'm Natalie.
And today we're talking about a local favorite just 35 minutes north of where we are, Iron Root.
That way?
That way.
That way.
She's so good with directions.
Like, really good.
Iron Root recently announced that they're celebrating their 10th anniversary this year. And with that, they're coming out with a ton of special releases. One of which is their Harbinger Cigar Blend.
Ooh.
So Harbinger is one of their normal releases that they have all the time. It's 115 proof, and it usually has a variety of finishes to it. This is special release, their cigar blend, which actually didn't say anywhere on the label anything that made it special for being a cigar blend. It just says on the label 10th anniversary cigar blend special release. This is a limited release, so you could either have gotten it at the distillery, which the online order sold out in 20 minutes, or they did send select cases to local stores around the area, which is how I got mine. There's a little label back here that says how old it is, and it's not in years, it's in months, and it says 48. So that's 4 years old, right?
We had this exact discussion with my car warranty.
Right. Yes, that is 4 years old. So this is 4 years old, which actually for a Texas whiskey isn't that bad. One thing that Iron Root does to help along the aging process is they use larger than standard barrels. Most of what their stuff is aged in is not 53 gallon. It's the one above that. I don't exactly remember what size it is. You can insert a picture here from the tour we did at Iron Root where we got to see their barrels. You can tell just by looking at them that they are much larger than the typical bourbon barrel.
I didn't get to go on that tour, but one day.
It was a bachelor
One
party
day.
tour, you know?
I know, but I want to go to
it
Iron
was
Root
different.
one day.
Hey, we're definitely going to go. Without further ado, let's crack this open and see what all the hype is about. And I always try really hard not to tear the tack strips as much as possible. And this is not working out. So we're just going to say screw it.
I can do it. Yep, that's my style.
Yeah, there was no way around it this time, sadly. So I'll have to clean that up later. In any case, oh my gosh, it's on there.
Oh!
Sometimes synthetic cork really gets you good.
Did you say how much you spent?
It is $81.
Great. Okay.
So we're under the 100 mark, which in today's world of bourbon is pretty dang good. And a lot of people really don't like Texas whiskey. I don't know if you knew this.
I would not be one of those people.
No, and I'm sometimes one of those people, and not all the time one of those people. Iron Root actually typically is one of my favorite Texas distilleries because it's very characteristically not Texas in a lot of ways. But that all has to do with their amazing process that they do, which is inspired by brandy and, you know, all these other things, which is really cool. You should check out Iron Root. They do great stuff. They're great people. I love hanging out with them up there. If you ever have a chance to visit Iron Root Distillery, the Licorice family, I think I pronounced that right, is fantastic. They run that distillery and do an amazing job at it, and they're the nicest people ever. So,
Well, hi.
so go ahead and check them out. But let's go ahead and get into this nose.
Cheers.
That was nice.
That was nice.
All right.
Yes, you go first.
All right. Blueberry muffin, and licorice.
Licorice, my gosh. There's this perfume my friends and I used to have when we were younger, and on the picture on the picture on the bottle was like these pink flowers. It smells so sweet, but not the floral that I know you're not gonna love when I say, but that is just like I'm thrown back to that memory in my life.
No. I like this floral.
Okay, good.
The floral I don't like is we had an Angel's Envy store pick one time that was fantastic, and as soon as we opened it, and it sat for 2 months and completely turned to only smelling like fresh rose petal water, and I hated it.
I liked it.
It was awful. This is not like that. This is much more like a fruit plant rather than just being like roses or something like that. It's almost like a cobbler, because you can smell the sugar and you can smell the dark fruit, but you also get a little bit of that freshness like you would get if you were picking the berries off the bush itself.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and have a taste.
It obviously smells like good. I'm so excited.
It is a little bit more Texas-ish on the palate than I was expecting.
Yeah, I did not get oak at all when I smelled it, but just then tasting it, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Tastes like oak, a little bit of that pecan note you get from a lot of Texas whiskeys, although much more muted compared to other Texas whiskeys, which is good because I'm not huge on that pecan note. But it is there. You still get that fruit. I get a little bit of that licorice that I was talking about on the nose.
Yeah, I get that now.
I'm glad that you're there.
With my favorite, sunflower seeds.
I don't get that.
I get it at the very end, a little bit of the finish.
Yeah, I'm not there with you on sunflower seeds just yet. I have gotten it on some things since you've said that, but not on this. One thing that I did notice, it smelled peppery on the nose, but it doesn't taste peppery at all.
Very nice.
Another thing I noticed is it's not quite as much of a mouthfeel as I expected it to be. It's not as viscous as I kind of expected. Especially being from Texas and being 115 proof, it is proofed down, which probably is why it's not as viscous as I would have expected. But you kind of expect a little bit more mouthfeel from 115 proof.
The more and more I go back to this, I'm just getting like Balcones. Not like one specific bottle, but you know how all of their products just have that, like you're going to say it's the taste of Texas, which yes, but this doesn't taste like Rebecca Creek. This is Balcones to me.
The mesquite, pecan, oak. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. So as cigar blends go, I think that this would pair really well with a lot of cigars, especially with a wide variety, right? Because it tends to lend itself to darker notes, but it's not overpowering. And it also has those lighter, sweeter notes that a lot of people might like to pair with, like a Connecticut. Now, Natalie, I know that you were thinking we were done with this video, but I do just have one thing. When you think cigar blends, you think Joseph Magnus. So, why don't we find out?
Well, all right.
Plus, I never turned down an opportunity to have Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, especially. Oh, see, synthetic cork. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. For popping now, they're always great for aging stuff because they never fall into your whiskey. So, synthetic cork is superior. It's hard for me to say that. This is a batch 51, so one of the older batches, and I'm a little biased, but this one is fantastic. Joseph Magnus.
She gone.
Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend is blended by Nancy Fraley, who I herald as one of my favorite blenders in all of whiskey. She does a great job, so give her a follow on Instagram because she has great stuff posting on there all the time. Batch 51 is 65.18% alcohol by volume, which, if we do math, is 132-ish. So 131 point something. iPhone, back me up. Is 130.36. All right, so 131. I'm going to take that as a W. All right, so in this glass is Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. And in this glass is Iron Root. So,
Cigar Blend.
That smells like Barton.
Oh.
Which, it should not be a surprise. A lot of the old stocks of whiskey in Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend are Barton, actually. So one thing I think is common with cigar blends in general is deep, dark, rich, fruity, maybe a little bit of that spice for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say they're very different types of fruity sweet.
What's the price difference between these two?
Well, that's interesting. So 80 for the Iron Root, and this is 200. More recent batches are going for like 225, but yeah, I got this for 200. But also 4 years, and I think the older stocks in this are like 18 years.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Yeah, and also 130 proof cask strength and 115 proof.
All right.
I'm gonna have some Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend right now.
Yeah.
See, I will say this isn't exactly a fair comparison. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
It's not exactly apples to apples here, right? We're talking about a 4-year-old Texas product versus a up to 18 years old blended barrel proof, amazingness. This is great. Honestly, if you can't afford a Joseph Magnus, I'm not saying that they're comparable in profile because they're not. This Magnus is just more mouthfeel, more complexity. It hits my profile better. It's not as dark or deep, rich in flavor profile as the Iron Root, but I think that it has a more well-roundedness to it, right? It's got the fruit, which is bright and dark at the same time. It's spicy without being too forward with the spice. It's got really great oak. It just rides that line really well that you would want with having a cigar, right? It kind of does all things. So no matter what cigar you're having, it's going to pair great.
Well, I know what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm trying to savor this as much as I can, but it's over half gone. So if you're in Texas and some stores might have this still available, this is definitely a buy, I think, if you like some of the Texas profiles. If you're absolutely against Texas whiskey profile, then this might not be for you. Iron Root does have other stuff that I think takes a little bit less of that Texasness and might be more up your alley. So definitely don't forego all Iron Root just because you don't like most Texas whiskeys, because they have a lot of really great stuff. I think this one leans a little bit more heavily into the Texas profile than I prefer, but specifically on the nose, man, I could smell this all day. This smells great.
Oh yeah.
This is a quality product. It's unfair that I brought this out, but you're talking about cigar blends, you have to bring out the benchmark cigar blend, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Whiskey Truck today. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about Iron Root. Maybe you guys have had the cigar blend, or maybe you've had some other stuff from Iron Root. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below, and we'll see you here next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.